You don't have an identity problem. You have a repetition problem. You think you're inconsistent. You're not. You're consistent at the wrong things. You wake up. You check your phone. You delay the hard task. You tell yourself you'll start properly tomorrow. That's not randomness. That's a pattern. And patterns harden. You consume disciplined content daily, but your standards stay flexible, and you've noticed that. You say you're working on it, but weeks pass. Nothing locks in. Here's the lie you repeat. I just need the right mindset. No, you need repeated behavior. There's another layer. Repetition threatens fantasy. As long as you don't repeat one behavior daily, you can pretend you're still becoming someone powerful. The moment you repeat something measurable, you get evidence. Evidence kills illusion. If you write every day, you'll discover whether you're a writer. If you train every day, you'll discover whether you're disciplined. If you execute daily, you'll discover your real capacity. That exposure is uncomfortable, so you rotate plans. New routine, new strategy, new reset. You're not optimizing, you're avoiding definition. This is the identity drift effect. When behavior changes daily, identity never locks. You stay in potential. Potential feels safe. Defined feels risky. Because defined can fail. So you stay vague. Vague effort. Vague standards. Vague results. Then you call it figuring things out. But your brain doesn't track goals, it tracks repetition. Miss once, it's noise. Repeat something for months, it becomes self-image. Not emotionally, structurally. The brain builds identity from evidence. Evidence comes from repetition. Right now, your evidence says you delay, you negotiate, you start strong and fade. You don't like hearing that, but you know it's accurate. Hard truth. You don't become what you want. You become what you repeat. If this continues, your identity will shrink to match your lowest standard. Gradually, you'll stop aiming high. You'll aim safe. You'll protect comfort and call it balance. That's how drift happens. Not through failure, through tolerated inconsistency. This isn't about being extreme, it's about being predictable. Right now, your moods are predictable. Your execution isn't. That inversion is the problem. You let emotion decide output. High energy equals action. Low energy equals delay. That's not discipline. That's dependency. Standard over mood. Structure over emotion, identity over intensity. Some people chase motivation. A few build repetition. That's the split. Repetition is boring. That's why it works. Boring removes drama. Drama feeds ego. Ego wants to feel impressive. Repetition wants to be effective. Choose one. Here's the shift. Stop asking, what do I feel like doing? Start asking, what does my standard require? Not 10 habits, one. One behavior you execute daily, non-negotiable. When repetition becomes automatic, identity follows quietly. No announcement, no reinvention, just evidence stacking, day after day. Your self-image adjusts. You stop trying to be disciplined. You operate as someone who is. That's how identity installs, not through inspiration, through repetition. So ask yourself this: what am I currently repeating that is building the wrong identity? And what single action would define me if repeated for a year? Discipline first.